Good morning, students. Welcome to GK class of class ninth. This is your GK book, Discovery, a series on general knowledge. And today we are going to start up with the new lesson number 25, Medieval India, at page number 36. History is broadly divided into two periods. Number 1, prehistory. Number 2, post-history. Prehistory, when no written records available. In the post-history, written records were available. Prehistory further divided into Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic. Post-history further divided into ancient, medieval, and modern period. Medieval means middle. Medieval history roughly divided from 8th till 18th century. Medieval history further divided into two periods, early medieval period and later medieval period. The early medieval period from 8th to 13th century and the later medieval period from 13th to 18th century. Therefore, the medieval history is the age of invasions, wars and monuments, art and architecture. Let's read and discuss something more about medieval India. Let's start with Sultan Behlul Lodi. He laid the foundation of Lodi dynasty. He appointed a large number of Afghan soldiers in his service. To win the support of the army, he gave generous gifts and rewards to his soldiers. He also allotted large tracts of land to them. Thus, he strengthened his position in the court. He restored order and discipline in the Sultanate of Delhi by following a strict policy of militarism. He also succeeded in annexing the kingdom of Jaunpur. He died in AD 1489. After his death, Behlul's son Nizam Khan was proclaimed the next sultan under the title of Sikandar Lodi in AD 1489. Next, we are going to discuss about Babur. Zahiruddin Muhammad Babur was the founder of the Mughal Empire in India. He was born in AD 1483 at Fargana, which was a small kingdom in Central Asia. His father Umar Sheikh Mirza was the ruler of Fargana. His mother's name was Kutluk Nigar Khanum. Babur was only 11 years old when his father Umar Sheikh Mirza passed away. After ascending the throne, Babur made an attempt to conquer Samarkand. He did not succeed in his attempt and lost his kingdom of Fargana in this expedition. He made two more unsuccessful attempts to conquer Samarkand from the Uzbek chief Shaybani Khan. For 3 years, he spent his life as homeless wanderer with only a handful of followers. Ibrahim Lodi was the ruler of Delhi Sultanate. In AD 1524, Babur was invited by Daulat Khan Lodi, the governor of Punjab, who wanted to depose Ibrahim Lodi. Babur, who had heard a lot about the enormous wealth of Hindustan, grabbed this golden opportunity. He crossed the river Indus, occupied Punjab, and returned to Kabul to make preparation for an attack on Delhi. His main battles were First Battle of Panipat, Battle of Khanwa, Battle of Chanderi, and Battle of Ghagra. Razia Sultan was unique in the history of Delhi Sultanate. She was the first and the last woman Sultan of Delhi. She was a brave, intelligent, and just woman. She possessed all the qualities of a great ruler. She was an excellent horse rider. She dressed like a man and personally led her army in the battle. The nobles did not like the idea of being ruled by a woman. Ultimately, she was killed in AD 1240. Guru Gobind Singh Ji born on 22nd December 1666 at Patna Sahib, present Bihar. Guru Gobind Singh Ji was the 10th Sikh Guru, a spiritual master, warrior, poet and philosopher. When his father Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji was executed by Aurangzeb, Guru Gobind Singh Ji was formally installed as the leader of the Sikhs at the age of 9. His 4 sons died during his lifetime, 2 in the battle and 2 executed by the Mughal army. He founded Khalsa in 1699 in Anandpur Sahib and introduced the 5 Ks, the 5 articles of faith that Khalsa Sikhs wear at all the times. The Vikramshila University, one of the 2 important centers of learning in India during the Pala Empire, along with Nalanda. The Vikramshila University was founded by Dharampal, the emperor of Pala dynasty. Its location is now the site of Antichak village, Bhagalpur district in Bihar. It was established by Dharampal in response to a supposed decline in the quality of scholarship at Nalanda. In AD 1193, army led by the Turkish leader Bakhtiar Khilji, who was the general of Qutbuddin Aibak, destroyed Vikramasila University. Pulkeshi I was the founder of Chalukya dynasty of South India. Pulkeshi I was the first sovereign ruler of the Chalukya dynasty of Vatapi, modern Badami. He ruled the parts of present-day Karnataka and Maharashtra states in the western Deccan region of India. Pulkeshi established the city of Vatapi and performed the Ashwamedh Yajna, means horse sacrifice, to assert his sovereign status. The dynasty established by him went on to rule a major part of peninsular India. Pulkeshi followed the Vedic religion. The rule of the Chalukyas marked an important milestone in the history of South India and a golden age in the history of Karnataka. Kanchipuram, sometimes simply called Kanchi, is an ancient city in the Tamil Nadu region of southern India. Once the capital of Pallava dynasty, Kanchipuram was also noted center of learning for Tamil and Sanskrit scholars, known as the religious capital of the south. The city was at one time the capital of the Pallavas, 4th century to 9th century CE. Kanchipuram fell to King Pulkeshi II, ruler of Chalukya dynasty in the 7th century CE. When this powerful early western Chalukya ruler defeated Harsha of Kannauj, falling again into Pallava's hand, it was recaptured by the Chalukya ruler Vikramaditya II. Today also Kanchipuram is an important religious center. The site has over 120 temples and is also noted for its production of fine silk saris. Tripitakas is a Sanskrit word meaning three baskets. It is a traditional term used in Buddhist tradition to describe their various canon of scriptures. Three main categories of texts that collectively constitute the Buddhist canon: the Sutra Pitaka, the Vinaya Pitaka, and the Abhidharma Pitaka. The Tripitakas contains the teachings of Buddhism, the word of Buddha, and the basic for the teachings of the monks can be found in the sacred texts which are known collectively as the Tripitakas. They contain teachings of Buddha on how to reach enlightenment as well as teachings to keep and guide Buddhists in their everyday life. Raja Todarmal was the finance minister of the Mughal Empire during the Akbar's reign. He was one of the Navratnas in the Akbar's court. Raja Todarmal introduced a land revenue system called the Todarmal's Bandobast system. He introduced standard weights and measures, a land survey and settlement system, revenue district and officers. Raja Todarmal, as a finance minister of Akbar, introduced a new system of revenue known as Jabat and a system of taxation called Dharshala. Todarmal died in Lahore on 8th November 1589. The lion capital of Ashoka is a sculpture of four Asiatic lions standing back to back on an elaborated base that includes other animals. It was adopted as the official emblem of India in 1950. It was originally placed on the top of Ashoka pillar at the important Buddhist site of Sarnath by the Emperor Ashoka in about 250 BCE during his rule over the Mauryan Empire. The lion capital is now in Sarnath Museum in the state of Uttar Pradesh, India. The capital is carved out of a single block of polished sandstone. The capital was originally crowned by a wheel of Dharma Chakra, popularly known in India as the Ashok Chakra, with 24 spokes. The wheel on the capital below the lions is the model for the one in the flag of India. Tipu Sultan, also known as Tipu Sahib or the Tiger of Mysore, was the ruler of the Kingdom of Mysore based in South India and a pioneer of rocket artillery. He introduced a number of administrative innovations during his rule, including a new coinage system and calendar, and a new land revenue system which initiated the growth of Mysore's silk industry. Tipu Sultan was killed at Hoyali Gateway, which was located 300 yards 270 meters from the northeast angle of the Srirangapatnam fort. He was buried the next afternoon at the Gummaj next to the grave of his father. Warren Hastings, an English statesman, was the first governor of the presidency of the Fort William, Bengal, the head of the Supreme Council of Bengal, so he was the first de facto Governor General of Bengal. In 1772 till 1785, he and Robert Clive were credited with laying the British Empire in India. He was an energetic organizer and reformer. In 1779 till 1784, he led forces of East India Company against the strong coalition of native states and French territories. Students, now we have discussed all the topics. Let's revise some cross questions. Question number 1. Name the founder of the first Afghan rule in India. Question number 2. Name the founder of Mughal Empire in India. Question number 3. Name the first and the last women ruler of Mughal Empire. Question number 4. Who was the finance minister during the Akbar's reign? Question number 5. Who was the first Governor General of Bengal? At last, I hope that everybody has understood the topic and revised the cross questions. Do the related exercises by yourself. Keep exploring yourself. Thank you. Have a nice day.